Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cantina Social Hour. Hello, hello. Sorry, we're running a little bit late this evening. Super long work day, and then I went to a party, kind of thing. Coworker leaving our place, my workplace, and going on to bigger and better things. So it was nice to do that. So sorry we're late. We're here now. Welcome. Happy Friday. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Memorial Day weekend. If you are an active duty service member, thank you for your service. If you've had anyone in your family that has fallen while in the service, well, thank you to them. And I hope that you find a way to honor them this weekend. That said, it's a 3-day weekend, so that's really nice. I'm exhausted. I'm beyond tired. Super, super wiped out. So probably not going to go a super long time this evening because I'm just super tired. But I did want to check in with everybody and say hello and see how everybody's doing, and see what's going on. So let's see who's in the house with us. Hello, fellow collectors. Dodgson, how you doing? Thank you for being with us. Paul, how's it going? Glad to see you this evening. Pico B1, hello. Tim, how's it going? Thanks for being here with us tonight. Nice. Return of the Jodi is with us once again. How's it going? Good to see you. Yeah. All right. Off to a good little group forming here. So yeah, how's everybody doing? Has anybody bought anything new this week? For myself, I've gotten I haven't really gotten a lot this week, actually. I think I gotten the Indiana Jones Adventure series was one thing I received, and that was for the it was the Professor I was gonna say Professor Obi, the Club Obi-Wan. I haven't seen that yet. I haven't gone there yet. It was the Professor Indiana Jones. Well, he's wearing a suit and everything. So I got that. And that was fun. And so I have that. That came in this week. Also, nothing really Star Warsy in terms of Hasbro has come in this week. I don't think anything has come in for Hasbro Star Wars this week, which is fine. I need a break. But I got a couple hot toys. I showed one in my Instagram last weekend. I have another one that I've set up I need to post photos of. And then I have one that I had 3 that came in today, straight from Australia. So I'll be sharing photos of those. I'll talk about those, though. So the ones that I got from Australia, from Pop Culture, which is a store, really good retailer that I bought from many times in Australia. I got the 2 hot toys, Attack of the Clones, regular all-white Clone Troopers, the shinies, and then I got a Clone Pilot. And those are like pre-sold out in the US. So I had to get them from Australia, and Pop Culture, thank goodness for them. They are a top-notch retailer. It takes a while sometimes for them to get things in stock because I don't know, Australia is late, I guess, sometimes with hot toys. But I'm glad that I have them. And probably not gonna be able to get them set up until summer break. Once next week is the last week of the school year. If you don't know, I'm a 6th grade teacher, and I got one more week with my grade class. Yeah, and then we'll be off to summer break, and I'll be able to spend some more time really here in the collection, probably getting rid of some things, probably condensing some things, and definitely rearranging some of my shelves and displays. So I'll have time to do all that when summer break hits. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Yeah, so that's about all I've received this week. For Mattel Jurassic, I don't think I got anything. I know last week when we did Social Hour, I showed some stuff. I showed you guys some things that I got. We had gotten some of the new Hammond collection and some more random dinos, but nothing's come in for Jurassic this week. And yeah, so I think it was just the Hot Toys, honestly, and the one indie figure that came in this week. Yeah, so as far as the other ones that I posted on my Instagram, I'll go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about here. Which, by the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, that's where I post most of my like collection acquisitions. So definitely hit me up there, Victoria's Cantina, if you're not already. So yeah, so right here, this was the big one that came in last week, and I posted photos of it on Sunday. This is the Hot Toys 2.0 Beskar version Dinjarin, and yeah, I love it. It's great. I already had the previous two Dinjarin figures, like the original, like beginning of season one. I think we're calling that the Durasteel Mandalorian look. I have that one. It's great. I have the next one. I have the Beskar version, but not the chrome version. That's what this is. This is the third version, the chrome version. And they're all great. I think this is the best one though, because it has the Pedro Pascal head sculpt. It's got Grogu, which I think the other one had Grogu too, and it had the Pram. I'm looking over at it, and yeah, so no, this is definitely the most impressive one. It has the dark saber. It's got the Beskar spear. And it's got a great like little Grogu in there. It's the same one that came with Ahsoka, actually. It's the same sculpt. Just slightly different paint on Grogu. But yeah, it's a great figure. I have him there with Bo-Katan and with the season 2 Ahsoka from Mandalorian. So those are really fun. And I really like what they did here with like the head sculpt. It just looks like freaking awesome. And that's the thing, like I love my Hasbro stuff. I love my Mattel stuff, but like when it comes to like, you know, Hot Toys is easily the most impressive. Like whenever I bring people into my collection room, like, yeah, the other stuff's great, but like, you know, the cabinets with the lights and, you know, just the sheer impressiveness of Hot Toys. Like that's where my friends, uh, you know, the few times I bring anybody into the collection room, that's always where they're drawn to, is to the Hot Toys, because they're just easily the most like impressive, like collectibles. So yeah, this was a great figure, and yeah, it just looks really cool. I see the little GIF that was posted in my comments is actually like doing stuff. The Grogu GIF's actually moving. But yeah, no, this figure rocks. If you were just to get one like Mandalorian Hot Toys, this would be the one to get, like for sure. Even like if you don't get the deluxe. I did not get the deluxe for this one, and I almost always buy the deluxe when it comes to Hot Toys. If I'm gonna get, if there's an option between regular and like a deluxe, I almost always go with deluxe, but in this case, I went with just the regular, because I didn't need like him carrying like the broken speeder bike parts with the Boba Fett helmet. Like, you know, so I didn't want to pay more for that. So never going to display it that way. But this was fine. It came with the face, the Din face. It came with the dark saber, the spear. I'm good with it. That's all you really need, honestly. And Grogu, of course. Cute looking little Grogu. Yeah, just a really impressive figure. I love these things, and yeah, really happy to have it. So yeah, I hope I get to set up my my clone troopers on the coming weeks as we go into summer break. That'll be really cool. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, because I don't have anywhere to put the clone troopers. But and I don't know if I'm going to have them with the phase 1 helmet or phase 2 helmets. Even the clone pilot has the phase 1 helmet that you see in Attack of the Clones, and it has the Clone Wars helmet that it had, like the phase 2 Clone War style helmet. So I'm probably going to put them together, I would assume, just to have like all three of them, but I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. So I'm going to have to put some figures in their boxes in order to do that, but I don't know who I'm going to do that yet, because I love everything. I just redid the shelves like in the last few weeks, so it's going to be hard. I don't know who I'm going to switch out for the clones, but the clones are attacking. They need to be on display. They're brand new, and I love clones, so you know, gotta have them. Middle-aged Kiwi man collecting Star Wars. Kia ora, good to see you. Glad that you are with us. What are you getting rid of, and how do you go back? I have no idea. I have a ton of toys and collectibles. I don't know what I'm going to get rid of, honestly. Usually I go to eBay, list them there. I'll put them on Instagram or Twitter, see if anybody wants stuff. But I mean, I don't usually sell my really, really, really good stuff, honestly. I just sell like extras, duplicates, older stuff that nobody really wants, things like that. I don't really sell like my really important stuff. Did you see the 29.99 4-packs in Shop Disney? I don't know which are the droid packs. I don't know which ones those are. That's specifics. I know they were running some sales, but no, I haven't bought anything from Shop Disney since I got those Pride droids. Yeah, that's about all I've gotten this week. There's been some really some neat stuff announced from Hot Toys that I do want to talk about in just a little bit here. Adam, how's it going? Good to see you. It's been a week. I apologize if I look and sound tired. I'm just wiped out and exhausted. Just so excited. Like sixth grade, like the end of the year is just insane. We have camp, right? So we go to camp. The whole sixth grade goes to camp, and we're there for a whole week. We drive up there and we stay there, and it's hiking. It's nonstop for a week. Activities, all kinds of things, and we have the sixth grade dance. We have the sixth grade soccer game. We have the sixth grade picnic. We have just so many things going on because this is their last year to elementary school, and then they're moving to middle school. So there is just so much going on with these kids, and it's fun, but I'm wiped out. And then of course, the end of the quarter, report cards and commencements next week. So it's just like nonstop. It is nonstop. Like teaching like sixth grade is exhausting. It really is. Just the energy. One adult per 27, 11, and 12-year-olds it's not easy. It's challenging for sure. But I don't shy away from challenges. I've never been one to back up off of a challenge. I enjoy it. That's what's challenges are rewarding. If you're not challenging yourself, challenge yourself. When are you done with school? I just got my master's like 2 weeks ago, so I'm not really thinking about school right now, but I think I want to I want to continue and get my doctorate, I believe, but I'm definitely going to wait like a little bit. I'm going to take a break because it's been a busy year for me. I'm going to take a break because I can focus on myself and a few other things. Yeah, I think I may want to go back and maybe get my doctorate at some point next year or two, but I'm going to take some time off. I need some me time. Been a crazy school year at work, crazy year in my higher education, crazy year with my diagnosis and treatment of all that. So, going through all that. So, it's been a year for me, and I need a bit of a break. I need some time to sleep. I need some time to spend time with my friends. I need some time to go to the beach, to hang out, to play with my dog, to just chill. So I'm really looking forward to summer break, so I can do that. And yeah, that's well said, Adam, because that is true. Yeah, it is an insane. And again, especially if you teach a grade that is promoting to another like grade level, like my kids, sixth grade elementary school, promoting to middle school. That's like a big thing. And there's just so much going on. There's so much going on. So yeah, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. Hello, Capitan. Welcome. 2 year 6 camps with my kids as a parent. Loved it. It's basically the big kid bringing the sports. Nice. Yeah, I enjoy that. It's fun. You just hanging out with your students and doing fun activities and hiking, and we didn't have any parents there, so I was kind of like the parent to all these kids essentially for a week. So yeah, it's a whole other life. Being a teacher is a whole other life. Like, and you just don't know until you're actually doing it. Like, I think, sometimes I hear people say that this and that about like teachers, or teachers get a lot of time off, or teachers get all kinds of things. But like until you're in that position doing it, it's like, wow, like you just don't realize how much teachers like do. It's like it's insane. Just having the stamina, like I said, to be like one adult for 27, 11, and 12-year-olds, that's just pretty nuts, when you think about it, and there's never a dull moment. There's never a dull moment, I can tell you that. There's just always so much going on, but it's rewarding. It's worth it. It's fun, and you're making a difference in some kids' lives, so what is more, rewarding than that? Um, so yeah, back to toys. What else have you guys gotten in the last week or so since I last saw you? I haven't got anything else. I don't really have anything to show off other than things I mentioned, but I did want to talk about a few things here. I'm going to stick with Hot Toys for a bit because that's kind of been big this week. In particular, and I'm going to pull up a link. There is one thing that is really, if you saw my Instagram story yesterday, you probably know what I'm talking about. So this was announced yesterday by Hot Toys. This is their Michael Keaton Batman from The Flash. And, I've said it before, like, Batman is like one of my like top 5 like properties. Like, it's Star Wars, Jurassic, Marvel, and then DC. But I mean, I say DC, but really it's Batman, honestly. And I don't know what the 5th would be right now. Ghostbusters maybe, or TMNT, probably Ghostbusters, but or Harry Potter, I don't know. Those kind of alternate, but yeah, this right here is freaking awesome. And I've said it before, I love Batman, but Michael Keaton is, despite no matter how amazing the other Batman were, because yeah, I mean, Christian Bale, like, that's the best like telling like of a trilogy for Batman, right? Like the Dark Knight trilogy, it really is. And then Robert Pattinson as the Batman, like, that's the best. I feel like that's the best overall standalone Batman movie that's ever been made, the Batman. And the Ben Affleck stuff, I'm not too hot on. But Michael Keaton is still my Batman, no matter how much more impressive those other movies honestly kind of were in many ways. This is just like my formative years. Like, Michael Keaton as Batman was like, I don't want to say my introduction to Batman, although he kind of was. I remember, like, in this era when Batman 1989 came out, it was like one of the first like 3, probably one of the first 3 movies I ever saw in the theater. The first was The Land Before Time. But I remember seeing it in the theater, and I think at that point, I want to say I was already watching like the Batman 1960, the 60 series was on reruns, like on TV Land or one of those channels, and I remember watching it, and around the same time Batman 89 came out. And it just left such an impression on me because, it was like nothing was cooler than Batman. Like, and what is cooler than Batman, honestly? Like, Batman is freaking Batman. And, it just ingrained in my head that Michael Keaton is Batman because he's just like made to be Batman, essentially. Like, I can't imagine anyone else in that 89 movie is Batman because he's just awesome. And I just love Michael Keaton and anything he's in, really. But like I'm glad that he's back. And that's part of the reason I'm super stoked on this figure, is that it just looks freaking incredible. Like, honestly, it looks amazing. Like, wow. Go back to the top here. So you get 3 interchangeable lower faces. You get the Michael Keaton head sculpt, which has the separate rolling eyeballs. You get the base. The first edition includes another little base that has this mask on it, the Batman mask. And that just looks amazing. Look at him. Look at the likeness on that. Wow. I mean, what other, like, what other 70-year-old man can put on a Batman suit and look that freaking awesome? What other 70-year-old man can put on a Batman suit and look that freaking awesome? Only Michael Keaton, my friends. Only Michael Keaton. And this figure just really encapsulates like just how awesome he is as Batman. I freaking love it. Like, that just looks so good. Ah, man, the little smirking face, it just works. And this is one of the cooler things. I haven't really seen a lot of people talking about this, but if you've seen the trailers for The Flash, you've seen him like flying with this glider cape. What I love about this is like they totally took Batman Returns, like that moment when he flies, which as a kid, that was my favorite scene from Batman Returns when he flies. They totally took like the shape of that glider cape that he uses, and they're using it in The Flash, and I love that. Like, to me, that's like, I love that. It's like that's one of those things that makes me really happy. And so I'm super happy that they're doing it in The Flash, and that the figure has that freaking cape, because that's freaking awesome. And I'm sorry, I'm saying freaking a lot, but I don't know what other word to use that would be rated PG. I mean, just look at the personality in this. I mean, he really looks like he's thinking about something. Look at that. Look, the determination, just like, so good. Yeah, the posable cape is cool. I have the Batman Returns Hot Toys. I got that several years back, and they're re-releasing the 1989 Batman figure with some upgrades from the original release. I have that on pre-order. But it's nice to have this too. This kind of completes like the three. I know that it's not a trilogy like Batman Returns, and The Flash. That's not a trilogy, but it's the third outing of Michael Keaton as Batman. So it kind of is. It's not, but it kind of is. So it'll be really neat to have all three versions of Michael Keaton's Batman costumes, like once this figure releases next year. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, again, this is just really cool. I don't think I'm gonna, despite how much I'm raving about this cape and why the cape means so much to me like this in this configuration, I probably wouldn't display him with it, only because it's going to take up a lot of room. And there's just not a lot of, when you have a sizable collection, it's hard to, you kind of have to like condense a little bit and make things fit within the space that you have for display. But yeah, he looks great. The Batarang, I love that they're reusing the same Batarang from 89. He just looks so good. Going back to that, he just looks so good. Look at the texture on the cowl, looks great. Looks great. I'm glad that they like kept the overall suit, like even his knee pads and his boots, like they look exactly like he had him in the original movies. I'm glad that they maintained the overall essence of the original costume, but also like modernized it a little bit. And you really see that with like the panel lining on his armor. The belt's no longer gold. It's now like a black and silver kind of thing. They really modernized the suit, but they maintained the spirit and the essence of the original 1989 and Batman Return suits. And I think that's really cool. I really appreciate that. So yeah, I'm stoked about this. And I can't wait to get it. I can't wait to get it. Yeah, it is definitely a sick figure. Michael Keaton is Batman. Glad you agree with me. Middle-aged Kiwi man. Hot Toys killing with their photography. Definitely. Hot Toys, like for a while, like they just weren't really doing it with their photography. And that's why they had like blogger photos once the figures were closer to release. Because they really wanted to push them once they got closer to release, people would buy them, especially when it was like a like high selling figure. But they're really getting a lot better with their photography. And it's really like not just this Batman, but some of the Marvel stuff, like the new Guardians of the Galaxy figures they announced recently, like those, the photography has just gotten way better. So I'm glad that they made those changes, because they weren't doing a lot of favors. Like I'm thinking of the Rise of Skywalker Rey, like didn't look so good in those early photos, but in person it looks quite good. And there's other examples as well. Return of the Jedi, got the Padme 1/7 scale Gentle Giant. Is that the Clone Wars one? Such a good piece and looks better than the promo photos. Is that the Clone Wars one? Because I have the Clone Wars Ahsoka bust and I have the Bo-Katan bust. So I don't know if this is the same one or not, but I know I had seen that they were doing a Clone Wars Padme bust, and I might have to get that at some point because it looks great too. Yeah, the suit is super iconic. And yeah, you got to have the whole set, and I will get the whole. I will have the whole set because I will. So yeah, I'm stoked. That just looks awesome. Thank goodness Michael Keaton's back as Batman because it's got to be him. Got to be him, and I'm sure it's not going to be enough. I'm sure I'm going to want more Michael Keaton Batman, but we got to take what we can get sometimes, right? Take what we can get. Adam's Arrivals this week were VC Cassian, the Aldani figure, and Adventure Series Professor Indy. Yeah, that's the one I got this week was Professor Indy. I was kind of like tripping around the name for it, but yeah, Professor Indy. And I think I still have some of the other ones on pre-order. I'm not going to buy them all because a lot of them are kind of repetitive, but Professor Indy is different enough to warrant a purchase for sure. So is Club Obi-Wan Indy. Different enough to warrant a purchase. Yeah, so I'm excited for The Flash. I'm excited for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Like those are going to be, I don't know if the films are going to be like great or anything, but I'm excited about them. I'm still going to enjoy seeing Michael Keaton as Batman. I'm still going to enjoy seeing Harrison Ford playing Indiana Jones again. Like, I mean, come on, even the movies aren't great. It's just the fact of them being in those roles, like again, those iconic roles that mean like so much to you, like in your heart of hearts, like that in and of itself, I'm sold already. Anything else is gravy, baby. Yeah, so what else? Gosh, it's been almost a half hour already. Yeah, anyone doing anything cool for Memorial Day weekend? I have some company coming into town. We have a friend coming in, family friend, and so we'll be somewhat busy with that. But yeah, trying to look around here real quick just to see if there's anything that I haven't talked about or shown. But no, I think we're pretty much caught up on anything that's been added to the collection lately, because not a lot came in this week. It was those Hot Toys, and I guess they really make up for it because they're Hot Toys, right? Like in terms of like, it's either like, Hot Toys or like a bunch of other stuff. So the Hot Toys definitely made up for it. Oh, good point here. Mission Impossible. Yeah, I am stoked for that too. Like I love Tom Cruise movies for sure. So yeah, I'm stoked for Mission Impossible also. All of those, give them to me. Just let's have them. I can't believe they've been making those. When was the first Mission Impossible? Was it 1995? I can't believe it's been almost 30 years and they're still making those. That's pretty cool. Geonosis Battle. Nice. Don't remember if I've seen it, but I'll look it up. But yeah, I'd like to get the mini bust because the mini bust looks great. She looks great. All General Giants and mini busts in the 1/7 scale look phenomenal. They all the Clone Wars, like they look earlier on. I wouldn't say they looked perfect. They've gotten so good. Like they just look so much like the animation. Like the Anakin looks great. The Obi-Wan, the Ahsoka, Bo-Katan especially looks great. They're just really, even the Rebels ones like Sabine and Hera, like those look really nice. Another thing to collect. I'm not going to collect all of them because I already collect plenty. But they're nice to admire from afar. And I live, through other people collecting them and doing YouTube videos. So can't have it all, but what you can have can be good, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Joseph, how is it going? Marvel Select Blade. I haven't seen that. I have not seen that. Yeah, I have not bought any Marvel Select figures. I know they did a few Star Wars, right? They did Darth Maul, Chewbacca, and Boba Fett. Did they do any others? I don't know. But I haven't bought any of them because there's just too much to collect, like I was saying. So I haven't seen that. I'll look it up though. July through November. Good to see you again. Bo does look great. Dave, how's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, it would be cool. Because honestly, like, I'm the only like big geek nerd weirdo here in my house. And yeah, it'd be cool to have more people to go to the movies with. I saw Guardians last week, but I went by myself. Because again, I'm the only like big nerdy geek in my household that's into all this stuff. So um yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. Got the Diamond Select Darth Maul for $15 at Disney Outlet. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I thought about those, but when I started like looking at reviews of them, like I didn't think they were as cool as like Black Series. To me, they just looked kind of off, and they were like that weird 7-inch scale. I hate the 7-inch scale, like with a passion. I hate it. That doesn't mean I don't have any 7-inch figures, because I have 7-inch figures, but I just hate that scale because it's like you can't put 6-inch figures with 7-inch figures in most cases because they just it looks weird. Doesn't really work. So like any companies like NECA and McFarlane and a bunch of these people that do 7-inch figures, it's like, why can't you just do 6-inch figures? Like, why can't it just be universal? Because honestly, and I've said this before, but no matter how much we like to pretend it's not, like the 6-inch scale is the universal action figure scale, and it has been for the last 10 years. So it's like, why can't they just make all of them 6-inch? Even like Mattel with the Jurassic World Amber collection, those were 6.5-inch figures, and it's like, why? Like, why can't you just make them all 6-inch? Like, are there licensing reasons? Are there contractual reasons? Is it preference? Is it like price? Like, I don't know. Is it just does it cost almost the same to make a 7-inch figure as it does a 6-inch? I don't know. I know that 7-inch figures take up a lot of room. I mean, 6-inch figures do too, but like once even that extra inch, like it's just so much more plastic involved. And I just wish that it was 6-inch was like the only thing. I mean, I'm not saying not 3/4, because that's obviously where my passion is, and 6 scale too. But I mean, in terms of like that weird like 1/12 scale thing, like it needs to be universal. Like I hate like 6-inch figures, 6.5-inch figures, 5.5-inch figures, 7-inch figures. To me, that's just kind of stupid. I wish it was a little more universal, because it's just frustrating. First world problems for a collector, but frustrating. And yeah, Super 7 too. This is a good point. Super 7 too. What the heck? They're like they're great, yeah, but like 7-inch scale, just even when like Diamond Select was doing Ghostbusters a few years back before Hasbro got the license back, it was that weird 7-inch scale. I just hate that. Yeah, 7-inch, and it's like, why? It's like, why? They're hard to stand. They don't have good centers of gravity. Plastic is often clunky and heavy, and again, I have 7-inch figures. Because sometimes there is what there is, and you get what you get. And unless you're actually privy to the details of those toy companies, unless you are actually involved in the business decisions going on behind the scenes, all we can do is speculate, right? All we can do is speculate, unless somebody one day becomes a whistleblower and leaves the company and tells us everything. But yeah, 7-inch scale, 6.5-inch scale, it should all be 6-inch scale when it gets to that 1/12 scale size, because it's weird. It's super weird. What is your most wanted unannounced TVC figure you want to see? Well, let me think. I would say the obvious one is the Tonica sisters, right? Time for Tonica. But I would also say that Kira from Solo is like definitely one that I really want to see. In her Kessel outfit. Super articulated TVC Kira figure, and she'd be awesome in Black Series, honestly, too, in that outfit. I doubt it's going to ever happen at this point. I'm pretty sure that it was going to happen at one point for both scales. But at this stage, sadly, we're what, 5 years removed from solo already. Um, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be easily like one that needs to happen because we have Lando, we have Han, we have some troopers in TVC, but we don't have a TVC Kira. It's frustrating. And it's kind of one of those, like when you think of Rogue One, like we don't have TVC Baze. They finally announced that TVC Krennic is coming. We still don't have Baze. We still don't have Bodhi Rook. It's just one of those things that, we really need to finish out the main crews of some of these, like these Star Wars movies. So we need Kira. Like, really. I mean, she's just so cool. She looks great too in her outfits. Yeah. 7-inch scale. Unfortunately, it's a thing already. There's not much we can do about it. Yeah. I hope that, they get to some of these characters sooner rather than later because, I have a lot of collector friends that I know, many of them online, many of them here in the comments, many of them here tuning in tonight, not in the comments, that are kind of, for lack of a better phrasing, like nearing the end of their collector lives. Or their lives as collectors, I guess sounds more a little less morbid. Yeah, I mean, collecting is it's definitely a luxury type thing. Um, it's definitely like, you could go out and spend your money gambling, or you could go out and spend money on, trips to, I don't know, Barbados, or you could go out and take the whole family to Disney World or whatever. So, I mean, you could go out and do other things, but collecting is it's a hobby. It's a luxury thing. Um, so yeah. So yeah. I guess what I was getting at there is a lot of people are kind of getting to the point in their collecting, in their lives as collectors, that they need to make changes in how they collect. Some of them want to drop out and focus on other hobbies and other things, which is understandable. So yeah. I hope that they get to some of these figures, I guess is what I'm getting at, because some of these things need to happen before these lines end, or before longtime collectors who've been buying since the vintage days drop out, because I mean, really at that point, you've been collecting Star Wars like for 40 years, or even if you've just been buying the modern line for almost 30 years, like, I don't throw around, you know, the word entitlement a lot when it comes to collecting, because companies make what companies think will sell, and that's kind of what their objective is, to make money, right? But if you've been collecting for that long, I kind of feel like there's a little bit, you're kind of deserving of getting those last few figures. You need to finish out your Cantina diorama, or your Jabba's Palace diorama, and really you're also kind of honoring like the actors who portrayed those characters in those moments. So yeah, I hope those happen eventually. Sending a quick text message here. My apologies. Yeah, so I hope that these companies, like, just kind of realize that uh, that, that we want to continue to support your company. We want to continue to honor your collection, the things that you're offering to collectors. Um, we're happy to give you our money, but you know, you just got to give us the goods. That's the only way it's going to happen, right? You give us the goods, we buy the stuff. That's how it's always worked. Yeah, the 5PO Akiras were terrible, honestly. And I know they made kind of like the Kessel Run one without the cape, but it wasn't. She wasn't that great, because it's 5POA. And lightness was okay, but they weren't that great. But yeah, we need her in TBC. Alex, how's it going? Good to see you here. Yeah, and that's really all it is like the main characters, like Solo and Rogue One. Like, those are Rogue One was kind of universally like loved. So that could easily be like something that they focus on. Solo, wasn't as loved by the mainstream, but it was loved. I loved it. I thought it was fun. So that what I don't really need to see. What I don't really need to see though is like is figures of like things from Andor. Andor's all right. I mean, the series is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is like action figures from Andor are just okay. I don't think Andor is like one of those things that really necessitates like all the main characters to be made. I know they kind of did it in Black Series. I wasn't excited for Vel in TVC. I wasn't excited for Andor and his Aldani mission. I wasn't even excited for the regular Andor from Andor. Like, it's just not a really toyetic series. It's a great series. It's very well written. It's fabulous. But it's just not toyetic, right? It's not really one of those things that I see and I need, like Mandalorian. Like I see that, I'm like, oh, I want a figure of this. I want a figure of that. I need toys of this. Andor is not that kind of a series for me. It's great, but it's not like the kind of thing I need to have like figures of. Like I just don't. I'd rather them focus on doing more Inquisitors from Obi-Wan, doing more the mains from Rogue One, doing more of like the Kira from Solo, like things like that. To me, that should be like a bigger priority than, one or two off like Andor figures and, all the other content that's coming, right? We're going to get figures from Ahsoka. We're going to get figures from some of these other things. But, yeah, I don't think I need some of these other things. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's all for the fun of it, right? So whatever they make obviously is great, but I really would like to see a little more streamlining. I don't think we need figures all the time from all the latest properties, all the latest series like Visions and Skeleton Crew. And I mean, that would be great. But, once you've started something, I think you should kind of try and finish it. Like, especially like Rogue One was out years before The Mandalorian, years before Obi-Wan Kenobi, years before Andor. So it's like, why do we still not have figures in TVC of Baze Malbus? Or are we barely getting a figure of Director Krennic? Like, why are we still asking for Kira? Like, like we've had plenty of time, I feel like, to have gotten these characters. And they're not just characters that they would make for the sake of making them. They're characters that are main characters, characters that have resonated with people, and characters that we need to finish up our scenes, right? Like, think of the big three in Solo, Han, Lando, and Kira, and we still don't have a figure of Kira in TVC. Kind of hurts a little, kind of stings. Um, yeah. Anyway, I don't think that was really a rant. I was just kind of explaining, but I'm sorry if it was a rant. Um, yeah, I don't count 5 POA as it's like an illegitimate child of TV. I mean, it's not TVC. It's the thing. It's like an illegitimate like 5 POA like child of Hasbro Star Wars. To me, I don't count any of those 5 POA figures as like definitive. Some of them are okay. Some of the likenesses are good, but yeah, I may have them. I may be aware of them, but to me, they don't count. It's like today. If let's think of some of the great figures that they've done this year for TVC. Uh, I'll just use a few examples here. Cal Kestis, the new uh thinking of the Bad Batch figures. Hunter. Like imagine if we knew in 2023 that Hasbro was capable of putting out figures of that caliber of Cal Kestis, of Hunter, of the new Clone Trooper, and we saw them instead do 5 POA figures, would you count those figures as being definitive? Would you count those figures as mattering? Not really. Not really. So when those figures were made, Hasbro was already doing super articulated detail figures. So to me, it just doesn't count. It's like for a Black Series collector. You know how you can go to Family Dollar or Walmart and find like those 6 or Walgreens and find those 6-inch Star Wars figures that are 4 POA or whatever they are. Like, would you count those figures? Like, no. It's the same thing. It's like it's to me they exist, yeah, and it's I guess it's nice some of them are there, but to me they don't really count. I don't really count them. Anyhow. Anyhow. Yeah, so that's I guess that's our TVC talk for for this week. Trying to think of what else. Don't think I've added anything else to the collection. No, I haven't, because we talked about this already. I guess I'll go through some of the comments and see what you guys are talking about here. Terminator. Terminator. You haven't seen Terminator? Am I misunderstanding that? Yeah, I don't know what Fubar is. Sorry. I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. Give the people what we want. Absolutely. It's like if you want money, make what we want. We'll buy a figure to open. We'll buy a figure to keep carded. Some of us, and many of us will also buy an extra to have as one to just keep to stock, I guess, in case as a backup. And then we'll army build some more. But you got to give us what we want. No figures, no money is basically what it boils down to. Yeah. Anyway, what else is new? I don't know that I have much more to talk about this evening because I think I've kind of exhausted. Talked about what's been announced this week. I talked about what I've added to the collection this week. I've talked about got my little periodic TVC spiel taken care of. Thanks to you guys. I don't really know what else to talk about. So I guess we're coming up on an hour in a little bit here. So unless there's any last questions or last comments in here, then I think we'll be calling it here very shortly. Will you be at SDCC? Yes, I will be at SDCC. I'm excited to go to SDCC. I've been to every SDCC for the last 5 years. And yeah, I I always interview Hasbro and do a video on a lot of what I do at SDCC, and I get to meet a lot of people, and a lot of you come up to me and say hello. So continue to do that, please, because that's cool. Did you get the Admiral Piet? Yes, I did. I reviewed him on the channel. So if you want to check that out. Thank you, Middle Age Kiwi Man. Have a great weekend as well. Thoughts on the JP Tribute Store? I've seen pictures of that, but yeah, I saw that they had like some Kenner stuff on display, which I thought was kind of cool. Kenner Jurassic Park. But I don't really have like many thoughts on it. I mean, it's cool, but I'm not going to go to it or anything. You know, I have a Universal Studios right here in Hollywood, so it's like, why am I going to go all the way to Florida for it? Interview Hasbro if you can. Yep, that's the plan. If we can do that once again, we will do it. What is up with the 4-packs on clearance? I don't know what 4-packs these are. So I need more information. Like I think somebody asked about the Shop Disney ones, and I don't know. Those were like I think like the Droid 4-packs or something was on clearance or something. Do you think Hasbro will make more comic book figures in TBC, or will the comic book fets be the one-off items? I'm sure they'll do more, especially when it comes to Boba Fett. I mean, it's such a beloved character, such a historic character when you talk about Star Wars, the toy line of Star Wars toy line. So I think we're going to get more. You know, they're going to keep making what sells, and they've already tooled the figure up. So why not, redo it as many times as you can? You're just adding paint, new packaging, and you're making money off it. It's easy for them to do. So of course they're going to keep doing that. What does this point to? What's your thoughts? Maybe they're saying new coming. Again, I'm not sure what 4-packs you're referring to. You could give me a little more information. Would appreciate that. Is it the clone packs, like the 4-packs of like the Hasbro ones, or is it like the Shop Disney like Droid Depot 4-packs? If it's the like the Death Trooper 4-pack, like that was just a bad decision from the beginning. Nobody wanted more Death Troopers. Nobody asked for more Death Troopers. It's not a great figure to begin with. So they really didn't need to pack that again. So I think that's why, if that's what it is you're referring to, then that's why. Okay, so clarifying. The 501st, I can see that those were on clearance. There was a 4-pack of 501st Troopers. Do I remember that? I don't remember seeing that. The Rebel Troopers too were great, but those were actually really good. But the thing about those is that you're buying the same face. Like each box you buy, you're gonna have 2 of the same face. So you can't army build that the same way you can Stormtroopers or Clone Troopers. Did you share your thoughts on the Handmade Collection Brachiosaurus? Yes. Last week we did discuss that. But I'll restate. Unnecessary. It looks good. It looks good overall, but I don't think it's necessary. We have a perfectly acceptable legacy collection Brachiosaurus, and I'm completely happy with it. It looks great. But because the Amber Collection one exists, well, this is what I'll say. It's nice that it's fully articulated, but it's kind of over-articulated, aesthetically talking. Its neck just doesn't look very good. The head is based off of Fallen Kingdom and not Jurassic Park, despite the packaging being from Jurassic Park and kind of showing that it's Jurassic Park. So to me, that's kind of a little irritating. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Thank you, Adam. I really appreciate that. Mark Boudreau. Yeah, so I tweeted about this when we learned about this last week. And Mark Boudreau had been ill for a long time. Very sadly. And I'd actually been in contact with one of his family members. And they were keeping me updated about his condition for a while. Yeah, it just got to the point where, unfortunately, sadly, he he passed. So it wasn't sudden, and it wasn't really a surprise, but because I had been in touch with his family, but nevertheless, somebody so iconic and legendary and who has been directly responsible for much of the joy that we've brought into our homes, through these little hunks of plastic. Obviously that's quite devastating. He wasn't working at Hasbro. He had already retired, but I mean, you think about all the things that he did and all the things he accomplished, the Millennium Falcons, all the vehicles from the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, the sequel trilogy, the Poe Dameron X-Wing, the sail barge, for crying out loud. Like, I mean, he was just directly responsible for much of the joy that we've had in our homes because of our collections that we've added to our collections, all the pieces we've gotten. So, once again, thoughts and positive vibes and energy and hoping for healing to his loved ones. And yeah, such a devastating end, to, news for the collecting world, honestly. I mean, he was just a legend. In the toy world, he was an absolute legend. Such a nice guy too. So, I do think there are other people at Hasbro now carrying that torch and that have been carrying that torch. Sometimes they get to do things that we'd like them to do, sometimes not. But what they do, if you look at the quality in terms of what's being made at Hasbro Star Wars, it's no question that the quality is better than it's ever been before overall, especially in the vintage collection when it comes to at least to new sculpts and new vehicles. So, people are definitely carrying the torch, and thanks to his innovations and his creativity, people have taken that and they're building on it. So that's really the greatest legacy anybody can leave, I think, is being so inspirational and really making a difference, and having that positive impact on others and having them continue your work. I think that's probably the greatest contribution like you can have is to have that sort of that level of inspiration and effect on others. So, he's truly, even though he's no longer here, he certainly left a legacy. And that legacy will live on indefinitely, forever. All right, you guys, thanks for tuning in. We are now just at about an hour, so enjoy your weekend. Again, happy Memorial Day weekend. If you are enjoying an extra long weekend like I am, get some rest, have fun, enjoy your collection, play with your toys, and we'll see you next week. So yeah, I'll share details of that very soon. I'm lining up some guests to have in the coming weeks and months, and definitely looking forward to that. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Be well, be safe, have a great weekend. Thanks for asking questions. Thanks for hanging out. It's always a blast. And we love having you here in the Cantina on Friday night. So happy Friday night. Enjoy. May the horse be with you, no matter where you're watching from out in the galaxy. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you next time.